Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Evelyn Porta, and as I promised, I am back today with a new video and a message as well about the full moon that is happening tomorrow. We have a full moon in Pisces, which is also called as the harvest moon, and it does have to do with harvest actually, because it's all about reaping what we have sown, and it's happening just before the 22nd of September, which is the autumnal equinox. So it will intensify that equinox, the energies even further. And full moons are always carrying these intense energies where our intuitions are heightened, especially this one because it's in Pisces, and Pisces is a water sign. Water signs are very emotional as well. So you will feel that on an emotional level, definitely, that something is being activated in you. And full moons are always these culmination points where we can finally release things that are no longer serving us, are no longer working in our lives, and we can recognize those things. We can get clarity about those things, like what those things are, first of all. So full moons are great for that. This full moon is happening in Pisces, as I said, and Pisces is opposing Virgo at this time. And Neptune is also in Pisces, and it's the ruling planet of Pisces, which has to do with illusions, with not seeing things very clearly. But it's also a very spiritual planet, very compassionate, very connected to the divine. So this is a great opportunity for us to harness our connection with the divine, to connect to our true selves, and therefore we will be able to connect to each other as well. However, Virgo is opposing Pisces, and Virgo is very interested in details, in precision, and because of the fact that it's opposing Pisces, it might not see things so clearly, so it might be a little bit foggy at this time, not seeing through the events that are going on, that are happening all around the world. And also Virgo is the sign of health. There might be some upheaval in terms of health as well, because it's opposing Pisces at this time, and we might get deluded about certain things that are concerning health on a global level, but personal level as well. So if you hear things in the mainstream concerning health, you don't need to buy into those things, and you know very well what I'm talking about. There might be an exaggeration of what is happening right now, so just be aware with that all the planets are supporting this delusion when it comes to certain health concerns. And we also have Mercury at this full moon trining Jupiter, and Mercury is the planet of communication, of relations, and Jupiter is the planet of good luck and the future. So this is also a great opportunity, the full moon, to set intentions in terms of the future, what goals we want to achieve, and to make plans, so to speak, for the future as well, and to make very good relationships with others that can help us on our journey and can help us to achieve our goals and to be the best version of ourselves. So it's a good opportunity to connect with other people. And as I said, because we have this equinox on the 22nd of September, that will intensify the energy of full moon. And equinoxes are those moments where the biggest and most radical shifts can happen, where we can decide if we want to continue and go forward on a certain path, or we want to alter our path. So it is that moment of that fork in the road where we can change directions. And to be fair, I never knew why the biggest shifts and the biggest changes in my directions were happening towards the end of September or October every single year. And now it's making so much sense that this equinox was presenting me with this opportunity of either continuing on a certain path or changing direction. And obviously these shifts and these changes are always uncomfortable, but they are so necessary. So I was always struggling every single year during this time, and it never made sense why. So if you are being presented with things and you gain clarity about certain things that you have been not seeing up until this point, then really bless that opportunity for seeing through things. And it's so not just a coincidence that I uploaded the video which I uploaded before this one, like my previous one, about the incompatibility in the relationships and childhood wounding and traumas. And this year, this equinox is here for us to help us to navigate through these challenges that are being presented. We can finally let go of those things that have been a problem for many years, maybe even many lifetimes, but we never really understood what was the root cause of our suffering. So you have all the tools. You are being equipped with everything that you are needing at this time to make this shift. You have your intuition. You have a lot of help from multidimensional beings. You have your higher self. We have Neptune in Pisces, which is helping us to harness our connection with our higher selves, with the spirit world, with this higher consciousness. So you have everything in order to make it through this shift. So it's a great opportunity that we need to embrace, even if it's uncomfortable many times. And I believe that this will play out as well on a bigger scale, and we will see changes in the society. And we will see signs of the structures failing, falling, the systems failing as well, because we have outgrown that old system. Just as you have outgrown your old self, your old belief systems and relationships. So there's no point in holding onto those things that are holding you back anyways. But if you let go of them and release them, do that with compassion, do that with understanding and love. Because what we resist, we persist. And until we don't mend our arguments with others, we will not let go of the past whatsoever. We will just persist what hasn't been working any longer. And I do think that we will gain clarity collectively about what is to implement new structures and what is to replace those old systems with the new ones. Because we cannot just use intellectual reasoning when it comes to solving problems on a collective level. We cannot just try to solve societal injustice without having as a basis spiritual values, compassion, understanding, love, the understanding that we are all one, that we all belong together, that we all belong to the same species, to the same universe, that we are not separate from each other. So we will understand that we have to focus less on individual goals and more on collective goals, goals that are serving humanity as a whole, and to implement those systems that are serving humanity and not humanity serving those systems. So we do have to change our perception about what we are as a race, and it all starts with understanding that we are all one and that we all belong to the same core and to the same essence, to the same spirit and source energy. So I think this is where we are heading. Hang in there, it is happening. It's just a little bit bumpy before we get there. But there's no end goal anyways, and the highest outcome is assured. And this is something that the Galactic Federation of Light is talking about as well in today's channeling. I did ask them about the full moon, what they have to say about it. So I'm going to read the message for you now. And then after we will have a little bit of oracle card reading, and we will ask for guidance about the energies of this full moon. So let's get into this channeled message, which I channeled last night as usual. So this message is from the Galactic Federation of Light from the 18th of September 2021. Dear beings, seeking and honoring your truth is the most important aspect that you have to follow. The full moon represents those aspects that have been buried and refused to be integrated and accepted by you all. And so shall become to be clear for you that the only way to include love within your lives is to include these shadow aspects as well, as they are serving you. They are here for the benefit of you and the benefit of humanity. They are the force which will fuel the force of integration and acceptance, the integration of self and humanity and all the species that belong to this earth and to you. What you integrate is what you grant for yourself as the evolution of the dimensions, the evolution of the soul aspects that are keeping you in the physical for as long as the physical is serving your purpose. Even though your purpose and your very clear mission of integrating is what you would like with all costs to push aside. This planetary event will be the perfect opportunity for integration as you are moving higher in the consciousness grid and scale, and all these shadow aspects will be seen as a necessary part in your development, rather than aspects that are keeping you in the third dimensional consciousness. Honor what you call your shadow self, and you will receive the clarification of your next steps without having to do anything that is requiring the left brain momentum. You are carrying the joy to your fulfillment. And as you are closing the month of September, this will be so appreciated by you. Activation of senses and the intention to elevate your beings will be resolved for all of you as you are approaching the final months of 2021. You shall see the fast-forward movement of the events. You shall be the observer of the third dimensional concepts that are dragging the masses into the state of fear, but which concepts will no longer succeed in the old manner. Honor the light within yourself, and the light will show you the way. We, the Galactic Federation, are here to assist, to make sure humanity is being given the opportunity of choosing a path of awakening to their true essence, or the path of remaining stagnant in the fear of lack of resourcefulness, both on an emotional and physical level. The choice is yours, and the outcome is assured. We can see a great deal of surfacing of emotions that will be released and integrated. We want to tell you that the process is being honored by the universal consciousness, and it's being given the great sense of fulfillment that is guaranteed. Your path to your fulfillment is guaranteed. When you realize that you belong together, you will see that you belong to the universe. You belong to the greater whole. You belong to each other's essence as the concept of all that is within, all that has ever been, and that will always be. You belong to the concept of unity, of working together, helping each other find your way to your very essence. We will leave you now in the love of the infinite intelligence and all that is. So I think this full moon will be a lot about accepting our shadow aspects. And by accepting these things, we can release many, many blockages from the past, traumas. But we have to see these shadow aspects as part of ourselves. They are saying that our purpose and our very clear mission, because we have this very clear mission of integrating these aspects in this lifetime, and that is the way to ascend to higher levels of consciousness. But even though this is our mission and it's very defined, we try with all costs to push aside. And this is what Metatron was saying in my last video as well. He said that what we resist the most is what we are seeing in others as well. So how can we take other people as part of ourselves and to look at those people and societal problems with love and compassion if we are denying these shadow aspects? We do have to take these aspects as part of ourselves and to love them, to embrace them. And we are failing to see that the fact that we are denying these aspects of ourselves is what is causing us suffering. If we just looked at those things with love and we embrace them without judgment, they would let go of us. They would not cause us suffering. But we are constantly judging ourselves. We are constantly condemning ourselves for not being what other people want us to be, by not being fine with what we are. And that doesn't mean that we are unable to improve. That doesn't mean that we don't want to be the best versions of ourselves and we will not move forward, we will not improve. That just simply means that until we don't accept ourselves as we are now and we don't love ourselves, it's just impossible to improve. It's just impossible to go to the next level of consciousness, because your personal development is always a subject to your level of consciousness. And in the end, they were saying that the Galactic Federation, they are here to assist, to make sure that humanity is being given the opportunity of choosing a path of awakening to their true essence, or we want to continue on the same path of lack, fear of lack of resourcefulness, both on an emotional and physical level. And yesterday when I channeled this information, I understood that, okay, we are being given the opportunity to choose now. But I didn't think about the equinox, that it is actually related to what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It's making so much sense that this is happening right now, because they were saying for a while that humanity has arrived to crossroads and we can choose to go either left or right. It's completely up to us. But now with this equinox, it is making perfect sense. So I think this period will be super significant, these few months left of the year. And I do believe that the majority of us wants a change. We want to improve. We want unity. We want compassion. Even though many people don't know why they want to change and cannot point out the root cause of the problem, they just feel that something is not right and they cannot continue on the same journey. And we are here as light workers, as starseeds. And there's this mass soul swapping happening as well, which will raise the consciousness of the planet big time. So we starseeds, light workers, wanderers, we are here to show the way to those that don't know what is happening and why it's happening. And as the Galactic Federation was saying, we have to honor what we call our shadow self. And you will receive the clarification of your next steps without having to do anything that is requiring the left brain momentum. We don't need even to take action. The simple fact that we exist, that we are present and incarnated on Earth at this time, and we are focusing on raising our own frequency, we do elevate the consciousness of the whole. So other people can have that framework, energetic framework, which will allow them to awaken as well. However, you can only raise your own frequency if you accept your shadow aspects. Okay, so let's see what the energies of this month are by pulling a few oracle cards. I will pull an Archangel oracle card since I have been feeling Metatron's energy so much these days. Let's see what is the guidance for the collective. Clear cognizance, Archangel Uriel. Pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. So know that your thoughts and your ideas at this time will be divinely guided and will provide with the next steps on your journey. And that resonates so much with me because I receive so much guidance in my dreams as well, and I'm very clear cognizant. I wish I was more clairvoyant as well, but unfortunately I don't see images when I channel. And then I have, you are safe, Archangel Michael. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. So know that Archangel Michael is with us a lot at this time and assisting us. And you are safe. No matter what is going on in the world, you are safe. And at the bottom of the deck, we also have Archangel Michael. Crystal clear intentions. Be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So he is assisting us a lot. He is so close. You can call upon Archangel Michael because he's so great when it comes to helping you to get back into your power or cutting cords with low vibe energies that are no longer serving you. And this full moon is such a great opportunity to focus on our goals, what we want to achieve, and this equinox as well, what direction we want to go as a society, what intentions we have as a collective, what we want this future, this community-based unity, consciousness-based future to look like. Okay, let's pull a card from this deck, the Oracle of the Angels, and let's see what direction we are heading into, what we're gonna achieve after this soul swapping. Okay, so I did have a card popping out, the application card, number 19. I want to check what this application means. Okay, so it talks about a quest and the greater understanding that we have been acquiring for some time, and it's the time for the application of this knowledge, of this spiritual understanding. I believe that this is what will happen, like we will apply those things that we have learned in a practical way, like walking the walk finally as a collective. So great news. And let's see what is at the bottom of the deck. We have health. We have health at the bottom of the deck. Each and every one of my cells is constantly regenerating and radiating light. I attune to the divine love within me and let it flow through every cell of my body. I breathe in life and the energy flows freely within me. I am eternal youth, eternal health, eternal light. So for me, this card talks about both physical and emotional healing as well, which will take place. And that woman, she's like so beautiful and so in peace with herself. I also believe that it can indicate issues and concerns related to health, as I was stating it at the beginning of my video, and things that we need to examine and not to buy into those things, because we are eternal, healthy spiritual beings by default. And illness is just a result of the social conditioning that have been planted in us about us not being adequate. So by letting go of those old belief systems, we can definitely heal ourselves, not only emotionally, but then physically as well. So know that if you're going through any challenge that is related to your physical health, it will be resolved and the power is within you. And you have Archangel Michael and you have Archangel Raphael as well, which you can call upon anytime, and take as much time for yourself to regenerate, to allow your body and your cells to be regenerated at this time, because healing is definitely here and health is your birthright, and it is your natural state. And it's time for us to apply the spiritual principles as well when it comes to healing. So application for the healing of the soul, for the healing of our physical bodies as well. And maybe it's not a coincidence that I'm wearing green today, because that is the color of healing as well, and the heart chakra too. So let's close this video with another card. So I'm gonna pull another card from this deck, Angels and Ancestors. I really like this deck, but then I really want to buy even more and more decks as I'm making these videos, because I love oracle cards. I just love them. Okay, I straight away had a card popping out, and that is the Guardian Angel card. You are not alone. So we have a lot of help from angels. They are so close. And it's so interesting because this comes up like over and over again in my readings, in these videos, that we have so much assistance and we just have to ask for help. So definitely ask for help for your healing, for anything, any guidance whenever you feel like you are lost or you don't know which direction you should go, because they are here, and I'm telling you, they are giving me so much clue in my dreams about what is going on with me. Okay, let's see. Autumn. I mean, it couldn't be more accurate because we are in autumn. Release the old and rest. Of course, it's all about releasing the past and whatever doesn't serve and letting go of it. I want to see what the guidebook says. Autumn is when the trees are preparing for the long, cold winter and must let go of the weight that they are carrying in order to continue to grow and prosper. Sometimes you too just have to surrender an aspect of yourself in order to continue to grow and prosper. The raven on the autumn card shows that there is an opportunity to heal at this time. Of course there is. It's healing. In Celtic animal medicine, the raven is the bird of healing and initiation. The healing it brings is a shift that allows you to move into a more powerful psychic space where you can be more aware of your needs and desires and be better supported. When the autumn card arrives in the future position of a spread or as the last card in a reading, it can also indicate that the coming autumn will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. It's all about letting go of the past, but we can only let go if we integrate those shadow aspects and those things that are weighting us down, that are not serving us well, are also holding us back from letting other things to enter in our lives. And whenever we hold on to the past, we always try to control things, and that never works. So we do have a lot of assistance for this letting go of the past, for letting go of everything that is weighting us down, so we can be the best versions of ourselves. We can be healthy, we can be healed, and that will give us the personal power to apply the spiritual principles to our lives, to walk the walk, and to implement those principles as well into our societal systems, the systems that will replace the old ones that are no longer working because we have outgrown them. And those new systems will benefit the whole, will serve the whole, the creatures of this planet, and not only certain individuals, not only certain institutions, but everyone. They will serve us as a species. So this is what is coming, and I believe that this equinox and this full moon will be so intense. And also October will be intense, I have a feeling, because astrologically there are some things that are going on which are indicating that it will be interesting, October, but it's absolutely necessary. Whatever happens, whatever is coming, it is absolutely necessary for our spiritual evolution. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I will make a video about the October's energies as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it would give you a little bit of insight, and I'm so happy because amazing things are in store for us, even though they might seem challenging in the beginning, but they will be so worth it. They will be so worth the ride, because next year's energies will be so different. If you have resonated with what you heard, then you can feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Or you can also share the message with those that can resonate. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you as always. And I am really looking forward to seeing you in my next video. So take care. I love every single one of you. And I will see you next time. Kisses.